Stephanie in Cleveland. Great to have you on the EIB network. Hello.
Yes, hello, Rush. We've been laughing together, you and I, for years, you know.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, we have, and you always make my day because you're the funniest person I know.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, good.
Naturally funny person.
Yes, you are. You're naturally funny. With the depends thing you just did, I you had me laughing on the other end.
I did. I saw it all standing there looking. I did.
Yes. Well, Rush, I know that earlier. Can I talk to you about a couple things? Well, one, actually.
Oh, sure. By all means. Have at it. Until we run out of time.
I know that it was touched on a little bit by one of your former callers. But you know what really bothered me, and is bothering a lot of people, as a matter of fact, my daughter came in for lunch and said, oh, well, I liked Cruz, but I can't vote for him. And the reason is I think a lot of people are very incensed about what he did to Dr. Carson last evening. This is big, Rush.
You're talking about this dirty trick where somebody in the Cruz campaign announced that Carson had pulled out of the race like at 7:30 last night. And yes. In CNN and media, somebody announced it. They actually took on the air. Ben Carson's dropped out of the race. And this affected people that were caucusing and who they were choosing. Now, of course, I'm aware of it. I've been trying to track it down. I haven't mentioned it because I don't really know yet if Cruz did it. I've got some people, admittedly Cruz supporters, telling me that there's more to this than meets the eye. I don't know what it is yet.
Well, I think that it really should be cleared up, and I think Dr. Carson addressed that this morning on Fox and Friends.
Yeah.
And he spoke about it and said he would really like to get to the bottom of it because he feels that, it did disrupt his voting and he could have had higher numbers.
Well, Dr. Carson is 10%. I thought that number stunned me. In fact, I have to tell you something. I probably shouldn't admit this. In the early going, before it was known what was going to happen, what was nip and tuck there, and Cruz was, up by 100 votes, then 200 and 300, and Carson sitting there, whatever his number is, 10%. I thought, this means Trump's going to win this. Because I thought that meant that Carson was taking votes that Cruz would need to win. Turned out to be not true. It means the Republican base is even broader and bigger in Iowa than we knew.
Well, and at the same time, I think this is what worries and bothers people about Cruz. On one hand, he's saying, to God be the glory,
yeah,
as he's throwing Dr. Carson under the bus. Now, that is not the way we want a conservative or any candidate for president, to act. They would have expected that, I believe, probably out of Trump.
I think what happened was Dr. Carson said that he was going to go to Florida right after Iowa to get a change of clothes. And somebody said, it's being alleged that it was in the Cruz campaign, somebody said, well, that means that's proof that he's dropping out of the race. If he's going to go home after this, what can you think? But that's where it all got started, and Network ran with that. So no, it's serious problem. It's a you'd call it a dirty trick, right?
Rush, I would. I think it goes against what he's what his evangelical talk is out there, and I think that's something that really doesn't fit with that.
Well, that
is he Brother Jimmy Swaggart?
I know if you're going to go that route, you are going to you're hemming yourself in on behavioral requirements. Now, Jimmy Swaggart, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that. Come on, now we got some. I remember when Jimmy Swaggart came clean. I'm sorry. I remember I watched it. I watched him come clean, and the tears were streaming down both eyes. And he had the microphone in his hand, or maybe it was the podium, I don't know. And he was crying. Really just river of tears. And face was contorted in great pain. And he was looking heavenward. And had his 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 people in his audience there in his church. I have sinned before you. I have sinned before you. I'm watching this. I don't think that's what we had going on in Iowa last night. Safe to say. But I appreciate, Stephanie, the call. Really, I do appreciate all the kind things you said. I never do take it for granted. I really do appreciate it. I'm just up against it on time. I have to. Cruz, I've just been informed by the official program observer that Cruz has apologized to Carson for the incident. Is there an acceptance of blame in this? Is that... Okay. I see. So Senator Cruz is explaining in his apology to Dr. Carson it was a misunderstanding. Okay. We'll get to the bottom of this and in terms of what's known and be back after this. Don't go away.